Yo, what is up guys? Goblinu back with another video. Gonna try and make this one as quick as possible for you. This is going to be kind of a culmination of a few different setups combined into one video for you. This is for an Arcanist. I'm a Breton as usual. You can be Dark Elf, whatever you want to be. I just like Breton, really is preference. These are my attributes. Little side note. You want your stam to be a little bit higher than your magicka, mostly because there's certain skills in Arcanist skill lines that will cost stamina or magicka depending on whichever one's higher. So, Lover for the Mundus, Jules or Zoga for the food, and Stage 3 Vamp as usual. Starting with our monster gear, and I will say I'm gonna kind of run you down all of these items, sets. They're going to interwork with each other. So if you don't have this exact combo, but you have one of these other sets, or one of these other monster gears, or one of these other mythics, it'll all work and interlock with each other, and you can kind of plug and play. I've used all of these setups. They're all just as good as one another. However, I will say there's one probably overall that's best, but in any case, monster sets, you can go with Gerald Mountains, running a medium in pen and reinforced shoulder, heavy. That being said, our other monster gear options are Balorgs, and preferably the same thing, one medium and then one heavy reinforced. However, I have two medium in pens here. For our other monster gear that you can run, Kjolnar's Nightmare, same thing, medium in pen, one heavy reinforced. However, I have all mine are in pen. Now you can plug and play, like I said, any of these sets here, these monster gears, and it will work perfectly fine. Running one piece trainee reinforced and one druid reinforced, both heavy, chest and legs. For our first set that we're going to talk about, it is going to be Serpent's Disdain. Overall, this is a really great set. Allows us to have our status effects extended by up to 16 seconds. Works super well. Arcanist lacks a lot of burst, so this essentially doubles down on what Arcanist is good at, and that's applying status effects and essentially withering your enemy down over time. We are running medium in pen, boots, belt, and legs, as you can see, and two jewelry rings infused. I will say, depending on what mythic you run, you can just make one of these a necklace and so on and so forth. The overall best set for this kind of setup would probably be Dragon's Appetite. We essentially gain weapon damage, 2 lines of stamina recovery, and we increase our damage done to bleeding enemies by 225. We also get a health benefit for this, a heal over, well, not a heal over time, but essentially when we get 10 stacks, we gain a nice little heal. So Dragon's Appetite's probably going to be your best bet, and this would be the same thing, 3 medium in pen and 2 jewelry infused. Overall, these two options are probably the best. Honorable mention to Plague Slinger, honorable mention to Way of the Fire, and I will just plug those here for you real quick. This was the old set that I used. Super nice proc set. So honorable mention to Plague Slinger. Honorable mention to Way of the Fire. Both really good sets as well. However, I think Dragon's Appetite and Serpent's Disdain are just better. Moving on to our mythic, we are running Satan's Seducer, infused with a reduced cost enchant on that. Mythics, you can go Death Dealers if you'd like. You could also go, I don't have it on me currently, but you could go Markin. If you don't have Death Dealers, you can go Markin. And you can also go Sea Serpent's Coil. This is actually what I used to use before Satan's Seducer came out, but in any case, we're using Satan's Seducer. It's my favorite mythic overall, and I don't see a reason not to run it. All positives, no negatives to this. Just a really solid mythic. Masters, maces, one Nirnhoned, one charged, one with a poison damage glyph, one with a disease damage. I will say I do like running poisons. The crown lethals or these damage health poisons are really strong. I haven't used these for a little while, but I know from past experience that they work great. Backbar, Vate Ice Staff, defending with a weapon damage enchant. You can go a Vate Fire Staff charged here as well if you want, and make this one Nirnhoned. However, with Serpent's Disdain, getting the guaranteed status effects for 16 seconds, charged is kind of here. I will say that. You could probably benefit also from a sharpened here. But in any case, the charge still works just fine. But for plug and play reasons, I just keep the charged. Really not missing out on a whole lot with it being charged versus sharpened. However, I will say if you have Dragon's Appetite on, definitely go charged. But in any case, moving on to the skills. Front bar, Rending Slashes. This pairs with the Master's Dual Wield and essentially will allow us to gain more damage done. Recuperative Treatise. It's going to generate Crux, restore 600 magic and stamina to us, and do bonus damage when we damage an enemy with a Arcanist class skill. Next, Bloody Soul. We're using this for the bleed damage. We're also getting bleed damage from here. However, the other main reason we are using this is for the Major Defile. If you don't have Scribing, you can just take this off and go Camo Hunter. However, getting Major Defile with Gerald Mountain and Minor Defile puts us debuffing the enemy by like 60% on their healing, or close to 60%, I should say. So, in any case, flex spot here, you can go Camo Hunter, or you could do the Bloody Soul. Both work great, it's really up to you. For our stun, we are running an Uncanny Adoration. You can use the other morph of this if you'd like. However, I just found recently that the charm is really, I wouldn't say it's broken, but it's hard for people to notice that they are charmed, and sometimes it can be a pain in the ass to break out of. So I've just been kind of rocking with this. It also helps enemies, or helps us stop enemies from running away from us. So next is Flail. We're gonna get 5% damage increase by hitting an enemy with this skill, so pretty nice. It's gonna give us Crux, and it's gonna heal us once per cast. For ulti, we're running Dawnbreaker. However, I will say honorable mention to Thrive in Chaos. You can run either, however, I think Dawnbreaker is just better. Ellie Sus on the back bar for our Major Breach and our magic status effects. Evolving Rune Mend for our heal. This is going to generate a Crux for us each time we use it, which plays super nicely into our setup. Crux Weaver Armor. This is our armor buff and our Minor Breach debuff on enemies that attack us. It also generates Crux for us. Impervious Rune Ward is our shield. You can use the other morph if you like. However, I don't have a problem with this one, so I'm just been using it still. Rune Guard of Freedom. As always, this is our Minor Resolve buff. We gain minor protection. If we drop below 50% health, we gain a nice heal, 3300 armor, and 7-second immunity to crowd control. Backbar ulti is Abyssal Sea, but I will say honorable mention to the Glyphic. I think this is probably the better option of the two, but if you're in a team environment, they're not really gaining a whole lot of benefit from this, so that's pretty much it for the skills here. I will say too, I don't run a speed buff on this. but you could run Race Against Time if you wanted to. You could place that in the spot of Bloody Soul, or if you don't want to run a stun, you can do that as well. Dawnbreaker does stuns, so this isn't 100% necessary. It's just nice to have. Moving on to our CP, we're running Resilience, Ironclad, Untamed Aggression, and Deadly Aim. I will say, if you run the Fighters Guild Camo Hunter, go ahead and take Untamed Aggression or Deadly Aim out for Fighting Finesse, since you'll have more crit chance. However, since I'm not running a crit chance buff, I'm not running Fighting Finesse. In any case, you could also take Ironclad off and put Duelist Rebuff. They're really one and the same or very similar. It just kind of depends what you're coming against. I change them periodically, but... Red Tree, we're running Pain's Refuge, Sustained by Suffering, Bastion, and Survival Instincts. I will say honorable mention to Arcane Alacrity. Essentially, when you have the effects of a damage shield, you gain a lot of dodge roll cost reduction. So, anyways, guys, just kind of wanted to go over that. This is probably still your best Arcanist setups that you're looking at for update 44 and update 45. Really, you can kind of plug and play with this. I've already posted build videos on this in the past, but I really just wanted to show that they are still completely viable. They are still Arcanist's best option. And until Arcanist gets some skill buffs in ways that let them do more burst, you're probably just going to have to stick with procs for most of the time. But in any case, I'm going to go do some PvP. And I will leave you guys with a couple of clips to enjoy. This will be probably a mix of all the setups that I showed you. If you guys have any questions, just leave them down below, and we will see you on the next one. What the fuck? I cannot believe I missed that Dawnbreaker. Yeah, same.
I'm probably gonna be cucked this year because I've made way more than usual. But I don't know.
Motherfuckers. The fuck? I was minding my own business, trying to eat my fucking food. Why can't I stun them? What the fuck is going on? Jeez. Ah, you wanted to come in too. You wanted to be a fucking hero. Trying to eat my fucking food. And just fucking dude started attacking. I was just watching the battle. It's dead.
I don't